'Tis the season. The leaves are changing, the temperatures are cooling down, and it's time for some American football. Now, being from Scotland, I don't really care about American football, but damn it, the YouTube algorithm does, so we're redesigning the ESPN game tracker today. As you can see, this is the current UI, at least on iPhone, and there's a couple of problems with this. First, it's again another dark theme that's just using pure saturated black as the background color. The information hierarchy is okay, but there's lots of things pulling for my attention that kind of distract my ability to do what I want to do. Specifically, these controls up here look a little unintuitive. I'm not sure what I'm doing by clicking on these. Am I filtering the view or going to a new view? And then the bold text here pulls my attention, but I'm probably more interested in some of this data over to the right. And of course, the navigation down here at the bottom is a bit dated. This feels weird. So, got the style guide as always. This is just basically snapshotted from their existing UI. Instead of using pure black, I'm using this really dark black hue, and we'll work with that. And then I'm bumping them to Satoshi, a new font. It gives us a nice medium weight that we can work with to really control the information hierarchy in a way that is more sensible. Here's the user stories, everything I'd want to achieve in this app, but ultimately I'm trying to just find out what's going on in current, upcoming, and past games. Let's just get in there, redesign it, and see what we come up with. We're starting out by implementing the standard mobile header and navigation paradigm. I've done this quite a few times on the channel so far, so not going to make you sit through that, just going to skip forward to some meaningful design changes. These pills are starting to become quite common for navigating on mobile, but I think they're misused sometimes. The pills, when used in this manner, kind of imply that you're filtering the current view, not switching to another one. But on the existing app, you are actually switching to completely different views. So although we're recreating these pills for now, because they look good, eventually we go through and fix this and use the tabs that you're seeing below instead. And now we're getting around to building out this game card, and this was a really complicated design challenge because there is a huge density of information that's relevant for each game. And normally when you have a situation like that, I would recommend abstracting away some of that information into like a details view or something and only showing the relevant stuff. But for the context of an overview dashboard that shows all of the teams you're currently interested in, all that information is relevant and you want to see it in a bird's eye view. So here I'm using different hues of white and lots of opacity abuse to control the visual attention and not overwhelm the user with all the numbers, and only call their attention to the things that are very, very relevant, like the name of the team and the score. Now, in the interest of making this video watchable, I just skipped through about maybe 2 hours of iterations on this card, trying just every little permutation of how we could arrange the information on the card so that it doesn't overwhelm the user and it also makes visual sense. And I just want to underscore that good design just takes time. I mean, I was really doubting myself in the middle of this redesign because I was just hitting wall after wall after wall. But sometimes you just try a whole bunch of stuff, nothing works, and then you tweak one little attribute and the whole interface comes together. So that's what you're seeing here. The very satisfying conclusion of about 2 hours of headaches. One design pattern that I'm leaning on quite heavily in this UI is whenever you have an attribute that is associated with lots of elements in a list and you run out of space on the element itself, you can just group the elements into a category and then use a label for that category instead of placing the information on every card. So here, if a game is live, I have all of the cards that are live, currently all the current live games, in a block instead of placing a live button on every single card. And now I'm just adding emojis to the individual navigation pills to give the UI a little more oomph without actually putting in any more effort. This also helps users to quickly scan the list of options and click on the thing they want. When they see a football and they're looking for football, they just have to click that. Oh, that's a damn good UI. I like this one a lot. In a nutshell, everything is easier to use in this UI, at least from my understanding of how people want to use it. Navigation makes sense, it's tabs instead of buttons. Everything is grouped logically here. You can easily toggle on and off notifications. Everything's grouped logically, and if I want to browse into a category further, again, everything is nice and neatly organized for me to click through and get all the information I want. But again, like I said, I don't really watch football, and I've never actually used this ESPN app before. So those of you in the comments that do, please feel free to tear this to pieces and give me some feedback. But hope you found something useful in this one, folks. Have a great week. See you next week.